Hello, everyone. This is Antonio Ortiz, and this is my week 7 video journal where we talk about the episodes 4 through 6 of the Tested podcast series. So, as I prepare to transition from my role from here at Fort Lewis to my next chapter in the Southwest, these episodes really resonated with me regarding on how we classify athletes and the intentional messages that we send through sports media. So for the technical categorization, the first noteworthy item comes from episode 6, lumpers and splitters. And in our course, we've explored, technical communication and the need for clear instructions and procedures. In the podcast, they discuss how sports governing bodies try to split humans into binary categories based on testosterone. And from a journalism perspective, this is a masterclass in how a loss in translation between complex biology and rigid bureaucracy can derail a career. It's something that I learned in one of the classes I took at Fort Lewis over there, and I had really no idea about any of these until I took that class. It reminded me of the chaos that we see in the field. Sometimes the most elite performers don't fit the neat blueprints that are created by committees. Now, in episode 5, Unfair Advantage, the discussion connects directly to our lesson on commodification. We often treat athletes as products to be optimized. The podcast highlights the harsh reality that while the refugee Olympic team is a beautiful narrative for the IOC's reputation management, the athletes are still subjected to intense, often invasive biological scrutiny. It creates a creative connection to the Abby Steiner lawsuit that we reviewed this week as well. Whether it's high tech shoes or biological traits, the organizing logic of sport often prioritizes the brand's version of fairness over the actual humanity of the person competing. Now, to play devil's advocate and offer a critique to these podcasts, I found the media's portrayal of Rose Nathike to be a bit of a Google regurgitation. Initially, the podcast does a good job of breaking it down, but it also makes me question our own industry. Are we as sports journalists guilty of promoting a sports mythology that ignores an athlete's situated knowledge just to fit a 30-second international clip? Now, if we only value these athletes for their struggle and not their agency, we are failing the gold standard of journalism ourselves. In terms of production, I'm utilizing the rule of thirds in a lot of the videos that I take and the ones that I'm doing for these assignments. By attempting to sit off center, I'm creating a more cinematic and engaging horizon for the viewer. As I've learned from my own technical evolution in the production truck and in the broadcasting booth, the way we frame a story visually and narratively dictates how the audience perceives the truth. This podcast series was a great reminder that behind every unfair advantage is a human being just trying to find their footing.